What is the truth in all of this? David Mencer, who's an Israeli government spokesman, joins us now to discuss those recent events. David, good afternoon to you.
Good to be with you, and thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure, sir. Just give us the overview here then. What is, we know that this is a dispute, a war that is, full of propaganda. In fact, we've just been talking a little bit about that, as you may have heard. What is the actuality of what has happened on the border, the Egypt border? What's the situation as it stands today?
Okay, so I want to update you on the hostage negotiations first, and then I'll move on to what's happening in Rafa, if that's okay.
Right, yes.
Because you started off your comments about what's going on with Hamas supposedly making an 11th hour announcement last night about agreeing to terms. The discussions last night by the War Cabinet here in Israel, which is a national unity government here in Israel, the War Cabinet unanimously decided that Israel will continue its operation in Rafah so that we can apply military pressure onto Hamas to release our people and, of course, to achieve all of our objectives in this war. Now, despite Hamas grandstanding last night, this proposal which they talk about is very, very far from Israel's core demands. Nevertheless, we are going to dispatch a ranking delegation to Egypt to maximize, if there is any chance of an agreement on terms acceptable to Israel, to get our hostages out of Hamas's hands. We are committed to pursuing every single avenue, diplomatically and militarily, to get our people home. I remind you, Ian, that every single moment those poor 132 people, unfortunately, many of them have been killed by Hamas, unfortunately, it is a war crime. Every moment that they're in captivity is a war crime. Now, in terms of what's happening, on the border right now, the last 4 battalions of Hamas are in Rafah. This is a precise counter-terrorism operation that we've begun. We are dismantling Hamas terrorist infrastructure within specific areas of eastern Rafah. So we've told Gazans in extremely precise ways which streets they should leave, which places are in danger, to get them out of harm's way. We've told them in Arabic to the media, in the internet, with text messages, with phone calls, with leaflets. We've given them precise information about where we're going for. And you're right that we've targeted the border area with Egypt precisely because this is the area which there are so many tunnels there, and which is the lifeline for Hamas, where they get their deadly weapons. We're going to cut off that lifeline from then. And we've also told, very importantly, all of, the relevant Gazan civilians in Rafah, in the streets affected, we've told them to move to a safe humanitarian area in Al-Mawasi and Khan Yunis. And there, they'll be able to receive full humanitarian aid, water, food, medical equipment, and shelter. So that's what we're doing, and that's an update of what's happening precisely right now.
And in terms of Mr. Netanyahu saying that this ceasefire doesn't hit the sweet spot for what we need, can you embroider on that a little bit, David? What is it that Hamas have failed to do?
Yes, Ian. Obviously, these are sensitive negotiations. Lives literally hang in the balance, so I can't negotiate here on TalkTV. But what I can tell you is what our Prime Minister has said, and which was shared with the War Cabinet yesterday, this national unity government. And I can tell you, Hamas think that they can walk away from this war. They think that they can stop this war. They think that they can remain in power in Gaza and continue to show their aggression towards Israel. That is simply not acceptable. We here in Israel refuse to live next to this genocidal organization anymore. And any deal which leaves them still in power, we listen to them very, very clearly to what they say. Hamas say that they want to regroup, they want to retake Gaza, and they want to do October the 7th again and again and again. And we are simply not prepared to let that happen. So we won't let any deal come to pass. We won't agree to any deal which leaves Hamas standing. This could end right now, Ian. It's very important to just put this point in, if I may. If they laid down their weapons this afternoon, if they laid down their weapons this afternoon and if they released our 132 hostages, this would be over in an instant. This would be over straight away. It's Hamas which is perpetuating this conflict.
There it is, David. Thank you. Thorough stuff from David Mencer, Israeli government spokesman there.